Good evening, Scouts and Scouters. My name is David Gilbert, your friendly neighborhood camp director. Welcome to the next webinar in our Path to Summer Camp series. Tonight, we're talking about National Youth Leadership Training Camp, NYLT. And thankfully for you and for my voice, Jaden Schreck, our camp business manager and NYLT senior patrol leader, will be the one presenting to you, telling you everything you need to know about this camp, why you should go to it, why you should be a friend, and how you can go for half price. Jaden?
Why, thank you, Jay David. So yeah, as he said, my name is Jaden Schreck. I am this year's senior patrol leader for the National Youth Leadership Training course. It is my second year serving as the senior patrol leader and my fourth year on staff. There was a course that was canceled, but I'm going to count it still. So as you can see, just a little bit about what is the National Youth Leadership Training course. Well, it is an exciting, action-packed program designed for councils to provide youth members with leadership skills and experience they can use in their home troops, as well as situations demanding leadership of self as well as others. So there's quite a bit of things that are packed into this course. So some of the objectives we have for the course are to learn about and understand the be, know, and do of leadership. So how to be a leader, how to know what a leader is, and how to do the things a leader would do. So some other objectives are to train and equip scouts with a toolbox of leadership skills to run a unit. And these are usually done in a bunch of activities that are very fun, as well as some presentations for more educational purposes. The NYLT course takes a week of time, and within that week of time, they're going to be around a bunch of scouts that they have never met before. Possibly, they may have met some of them. I can't, say whether or not they have. But in that week's time, they're going to experience everything that would happen in a regular troop or unit within a month, all in a week's of time. So time really does fly by. And within that week of time, they're going to experience all of the stages of team development that many people never realize that their troops and teams ever go through. And as always, we're going to have a blast. Next slide. Yep, thank you. So, who can attend the National Youth Leadership Training course here in Mississippi Valley Council? Well, as obviously, you must be a registered member of Scouting. You must have a unit leader recommendation. You must be at least 13 years old, not 13 years sold. And you must have completed the Introduction to Leadership Skills for Troops. We're just going to take your word when you sign up, as well as on your unit leader recommendation, that has been completed. And then you also must have to achieved the first class scout rank. And then, as always, have the BSA Health and Medical form, parts A, B, as well as C. So the dates for this year's course are following the second week of Sockanok. It's going to be June 26th through July 2nd. So the very last week of June. You can say the first partial week of July. And it cost $330 to attend this week of camp. As all of the other camps we have this year, the specialty camps, if you attend a week of summer camp, you can attend this session for half price. Something to note on that is we usually have, there's usually some sort of deal like that with summer camp, but NYLT is never included in that group. So this is the first year, and we never know what next year will bring or will be like. But this is the only year so far that we've had this option for NYLT. to attend half price if you attend summer camp. So it's quite a deal. I take advantage of it while it's here, as long as it don't disappear. And then just a reminder, there are many camperships available. Since it's going to be your second week, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be half price. It would be pretty easy to get a campership. A lot of Scoutmasters I've talked to have said that they will pay half price for a scout to go to National Youth Leadership Training, because after all, by going to this, the Scoutmaster's job is going to be quite a bit easier, because the scouts are going to have the tools to run the troop, as the senior patrol leader should be doing. So if you want to go to this course, or you have a youth that you want to send, if you get the troop to pay for possibly half of the course, it's something to consider, because if you go to a week of summer camp, that cuts the price in half. And then if the troop is willing to pay the other half, not the other half, but like half of that half, so a quarter of the price of the 330. We're doing math here. You know, I need to write this down. That's why I get confused.
Jaden, to clarify, the half price fee is a straight out $150. So we decide, and that's based off of the regular price, the early bird price of $305, which we've extended for one more week until next week, beginning of May. But then in order to do half price of that, it'd be $150, $250, and we figured, heck with it. We don't want to deal with $2.50. So half price is just a straight $150. So you know what? It's even better than half price.
Yeah, we like to round. Easy math. I don't see no math merit badge out yet, so that's one thing we can't do well here. Easy numbers. Yeah.
Jaden, did you hear about the farmer who told his sheepdog to go round up all the sheep? So he did. Dog went back to the farmer and said, "How many sheep are there?" And he said, 40. Farmer said there should only be 37, and the dog said, "I rounded up."
There you go. Yep. So if you take half of 150, whatever that number may be, so like 75, that's only $75 you have to pay, as well if the Scoutmaster is willing to have the troop pay for the other half. So $75 for a week of camp is a pretty good deal. You could get yourself for one heck of an experience. Okay. I think I am ready for the next slide. It's like one of those read book things. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done one. Yeah, beep and the page turns. So what are the skills learned at NYLT? Well, there's quite a few of them, as you're going to see here. First and foremost, communication, because one thing you'll learn is communication is one of the most vital tools you will ever need in scouting, outside of scouting, at your job. It's one of those skills that's going to help you throughout your life. If you are not good at communicating, it's going to be a little tougher. And then we also have making a vision and setting goals, and then team development, which, as I said earlier, you are going to experience as well as see firsthand all of the stages of team development, all within a week's of time. Then you also are going to be learning about how to plan events, plan other activities, solve problems, as they like to say, problem solving, as well as teaching EDGE method, because EDGE method is the proper way to teach here in scouting. Some other skills learned are solving conflict, embracing and leading change, communication again, goal setting, setting goals, as well as team development. Next slide. There we go. So as you can see here on the schedule, that we have nonstop fun. I know you can probably barely read those words on that schedule, but it's all right. I can barely read it in the actual version they give us.
The syllabus is a good 450 pages long, and each one of our modules is partially classroom activities followed up by active application of the skills learned. So it is just nonstop going from about 7 o'clock in the morning when they get up to start cooking breakfast, maybe a little earlier than that, up until about 10 o'clock at night with the evening Patrol Leaders Council meeting.
And then as we get later in the week, oh, you can go back a slide real quick. I'll add on a few things. All right. As we get later in the week, there's going to be more and more time for activities as well as your patrol as well as troop to do things that they want to do. So not everything is going to be up to the syllabus and dictated exactly. We have some pretty fun activities planned for the end of the week. You know, as long as the weather's pretty good, which every year it's been pretty good weather. So it's going to be good weather this year. And then also another thing to note, this schedule is completely new compared to last year because this is a brand new syllabus that we are running. So all the presentations and all that stuff has just been updated to be more modern. All the videos are no longer referencing things that we simply don't know or recognize. So we are really looking forward to this year. Next slide. So here are some tips and tricks. Yep, tricks. That's the right word. So troop should send 2 scouts at a time. Why is this? Well, we are training scouts how to run a troop and equipping them with the tools. So if you have 1 scout come in and then they leave and they attended NYLT and that was the only one, then let's do some math. 1 minus 1 is 0. But if you send 2 scouts, then you have 2 scouts minus 1 scout who left. You have 1 still. 1 is bigger than 0, and that's what we want.
I think it also helps, Jaden, that when you send a scout through the program, if they have an ally, somebody who understands what's going on, that learned with them, that spent a week engaged in creating good ideas for your troop, that they'll be able to have an ally to make that change on your Patrol Leaders Council, somebody who can help them create that vision of what scouting should be a reality.
That's right. 2 people who know what they're doing is a lot better than 1. So yes, moving on to the next bullet point. Many troops require this training in order to be a senior patrol leader. And I know from talking to scoutmasters, as I seem to do quite often, there are quite a bit of troops that actually do require attending NYLT as a requirement to become the senior patrol leader of that troop. Yeah. Something to remember, tips and tricks. Okay, what's this one? J. David, would you like to talk about that 3rd bullet point there?
I will. So while National Youth Leadership Training is a summer camp program, there are classroom sessions, 13 or 14 of them. And there will be times where they have to read screens, watch videos, take notes, develop activities, projects, a quest for the meaning of leadership with the scouts in their 6 to 8 person patrol. So if your son, daughter, scout usually takes medications over the course of the school year to help them focus, we encourage you to keep your son, daughter, scout on those medications as they go through this program. They will gain so much more out of it because they'll be able to focus and understand and comprehend fully what's going on as they sit through an hour program 3 or 4 times a day before they get to the practical application of activities.
Yep, covered that much better than I would have. And then another thing to note is you'll be cooking meals as a patrol. When you go to a lot of high adventure things, as well as the National Jamboree, I recommend checking out if you haven't already. You will be cooking all your meals there as a patrol, just as you probably cook them at your own troop. Um, Fun fact, the meals is a really good way to see what stage of team development your patrol is. So then also another thing with this is for all those picky eaters out there, I've seen quite a few through the course, they're able to make sure everybody is going to get food and it's going to be to their liking. That's what I have. Yep. You want me
So
to go?
now,
Or you?
oh, I can do this one.
Awesome.
So Jaden and I wouldn't be very good business manager and camp director for our summer camp programs if we didn't talk about our trading post. Gift cards are available. They are reloadable from the comfort of your own home. So if your scout calls you and says, we need more money, you can reload it just by making a phone call with your credit card to our scout office. A pre-order catalog is available now, went viral on the 1st of April. And we do have some really cool NYLT swag in addition to specialty camp items, branded items, some experiences. The Magic the Gathering will be summer camp only, not at NYLT. Belt buckles, blank belts, etc. And there is a page dedicated to National Youth Leadership Training Camp swag. So be sure to check that out. All of the information that we covered, minus some of the tips and tricks that we discussed from Jaden and my experience, can be found in our summer camp guide, mvc-camps.org, is where you can download that. And there's a picture of what the guide cover looks like. You can also pick up a hard copy in your local scout shop, or you can shoot us an email at mvc@scouting.org. This, as you know, is just part of our webinar series. There's a whole list of the great ones that we have. We have tomorrow night, the Duty to God Retreat and the Sockanock Backcountry Adventure. And of course, a whole bunch of other great ones coming. Here's my contact information and Kim's contact information. If you give us any questions, we will forward them along to Jaden as the Senior Patrol Leader and Joe Henning as the Course Director Scoutmaster. And at that, I appreciate you listening. I'm going to turn this off and take questions from those who are joining us live. And for those watching us in the replay, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Until then, we'll see you along the scouting trail.